Hello, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. It is your girl, Elle Davis, and we are back for Women's History Month. And I am so excited to be back with you today and just introducing you to another woman that is in my circle who has done all kinds of things. I have known La'Keisha Gray-Sewell for many years now. We first met, I believe, through if you all were watching, I just did an interview with Monique Carradine, who is my coach. And Lakeisha and I met through Monique as well at the Overflow Retreat. And so that has been exciting to see her journey. And we have been in masterminds together. And let me tell you how the circle works because Lakeisha just hired me this past weekend in which I facilitated a strategic planning session for her and her board members for an organization that she founded. So the circle is here and it keeps spinning and we supporting each other. Welcome,
Yeah.
La'Keisha.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be one of your Resilient Month guests. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, as you stated, I founded Girls Like Me Project, so I am a girls advocate and champion by life assignment. I founded Girls Like Me for profit. We have global reach, global expansion. We work around media literacy and digital storytelling. I'm also an author of a book called Move Beyond the Block merch. um, Also a
You stay with
speaker,
your merchandise on.
as well as an overflow coach, as Elle just said, overflow coach, and I coach brilliant women out of the shadows into their digital shine. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I'm a wife, a huge fan of my husband, two
Who's a dope DJ,
amazing, he
y'all.
is the dopest DJ ever, DJ B-side, two amazing young adult children and two furry babies. And so that's me, product of the South Side.
Inglewood.
No, I live in Inglewood.
Well, you live in Inglewood
I
now.
live here, but I am a Bronzeville low end baby. No,
I
so.
know, but you leaving. You trying not to claim Inglewood now.
I claim it, but you know, the roots.
Right, right. I hear you. That's cool. So, as you know, and you have followed me for some time, and I always use the hashtag obstacle to opportunity. And
Yes.
that is very personal to me because I believe that no matter what the obstacle, there's some type of opportunity on the other side of that. And so, we're going to dive right into our questions. So, I'd like to know what is an obstacle that you have been able to turn into an opportunity?
So when you asked when I saw that question, I was like, oh my God, what is it? But every time I think of an obstacle that I've faced, it comes back to one thing. And honestly, that one obstacle has been myself, my mindset. I've the biggest obstacle in my life has been, as I just told you, I am a product of the South Side of Chicago. Grew up on the low end. For those of you all who don't know what the low end is, that is anywhere from 55th to 35th Street, um, South Side of Chicago. 30 for me, 49th in Michigan. And that just was an area that was saturated with poverty, saturated with violence, normalized poverty, normalized violence. And when you grow up in that environment, obviously some of that seeps into who you are. And so for me, for a very, very, very long time, that is what I identified with, right? That was the lens that I looked out into the world as. And so that's been the biggest obstacle for me to overcome, doing that. The opportunity of that,
Mhm.
I don't know if you want me to go into what the
Yeah,
opportunity,
please.
but the opportunity for me was that I got to see the world from that vantage point, right? I mean, and you and I we talk about our spiritual experience and perspective all the time. And my spiritual perspective is that I was planted there to be nurtured in that space so that I can see the world from that vantage point and how it impacted my life and how I navigated that life and people around me. Um, and what the systems were that kept that normalization in place, right? And
Mhm.
so for me, the opportunity was to be able to look at that, to see what the outside forces were and know that that's quite different than what I had going on in my home and the people, my neighbors that I knew, right? My neighbors who owned their homes, who owned the Greystones, who worked every day, who had, love for our community, looked out for each other,
Absolutely.
church community, and knowing that there was better and that girls deserve better. And so that opportunity landed me able to create this non-for-profit with this very unique mission, right? To undermine all the stereotypes that come from for a girl because she lives in a certain zip code or a certain area code,
Right.
to push back against the stereotypes that, there's no hope, no ambition, we will just be, welfare, on welfare, and low level, no education, right? And probably either a victim of or perpetrator of violence.
Yep.
And then also the opportunity was to write a book, to create a book, to share with the world about that, about that experience. And it's in its third print. So I think that the opportunity,
That's
I think
awesome. I
everybody
got one
should
of the
read it.
originals down there on my
Yes,
bookshelf. I should have grabbed it.
the first print. Yes, you did. Yes.
Awesome. That is
Yeah.
that's great though. And what I really appreciate you talking about is the mindset, right? Like it has to be this mindset
Hmm.
shift for you to see different as well as
Hmm.
be able to determine in your mind that you can then do different.
Hmm.
So that is
Hmm.
powerful. So next question, how are you then intentional about being resilient? Because what that says to me, what you just described, is you being resilient in spite of what you saw. And so
Hmm.
how does that play out for you now? How are you intentionally resilient?
I think it's been how I didn't know what I was doing, right? I'm a person that does a lot of practical stuff, but I don't have the theoretical framework for what I'm doing, right? So self-care has really, and I know self-care is the buzzword that everybody's using, but I don't mean it in that type of way. My sheroes, most of them, the majority of my sheroes, all died of an early death. And when I say early death, before they were 70, they died of cancers, they died of kidney disease. If it's Ida B. Wells, Tony K. Bambara, go down the list and on and on and on, with the exception of Maya Angelou, who lived a very fruitful and long life. But they all had these internal, most diseases have connection to some spiritual disease, right? And because of the work that we do and they did, mostly community based, community centered, mission driven work, for the collective, a lot of things internalized, a lot of things harbored, whether that's resentments, whatever. So for me, this summer I really felt it, L. I felt bitterness coming on in a way that
Mm,
was going to take me out. And when I say take me out, don't mean like my harming myself, but meaning like this blind rage, this bitterness, this resentment that was clouding my everything that my thoughts, everything that I looked at was coming from this place of deficit, resentment, right? So I went back to what I've always done, and that's reading, right? Because if I can read and I can um, absorb these stories of women who, like me, have went through worse than I have, who
yeah.
have lived through hell, who've created, in between that, who've taken those obstacles and made opportunities, who's paved the way for us. If I can read their stories and see how they did it, it tells me that I too can do it, right? But
Absolutely.
also therapy every Tuesday night.
Come on with it.
It's
Come
my
on
date
with it.
night. That really, really helps me to not just be resilient, and keep going, but to do it in a way that I'm serving from my highest self, right? I'm serving from the highest place I can, not out of a deficit, not to get back at anybody, not to prove anything or disprove, but to really elevate and advance. I have this thing called be historical. And I want us to be historical. And I can't be historical if I'm doing things from a mindset that is a defeated mindset or
Yep.
a
From the
mindset of
deficit. Yep.
victimization,
Operating
right?
from deficit. Yep. Yep.
So that
Absolutely.
that is the biggest. And then things like I'm about to do now when I get off here with you, and that is go to my massage appointment. um, because you have
Hey.
to. I for a very long time, because I am service oriented and I really do give. I used to wait for my husband to gift me with a pamper day, a massage day, or a nice negligee or lingerie set. Like, right, I would wait, and it's because I seen my mother do that. My mother went for years after her divorce from my father. My mother went years. I'm telling you, I was in college before I saw my mother buy her something new for herself.
Wow.
Right. And so we'll spend a lot of time waiting for somebody else to do for us, and so when they don't do it the way we want or what we expect, then we're resentful. We feel
Hmm.
unappreciated. So another form of my resiliency is to love on myself and to make sure that I'm taking care of me. And my husband does a great job at it too, but I don't, whether he does it or not,
You
I
still
don't
gonna
have.
make sure it happens. You
Yeah,
don't have to wait
yeah.
for him to do it.
Right. So he don't have
Yeah.
to work double overtime because I'm not taking care of me, and then he gotta fill in for me and him. No, he don't have to do my part and his part. So
Right. I love that. And you know
yeah.
what? It reminds me, I was on a call last night about adjusting our sister's crown, but that was one
Mm,
of the things that Woman the Woman talked about is that, why we be waiting to use the nice
mm.
dishes? Why we
Yeah.
wait to, break open the champagne? Why we wait
Yes.
to put on the nice dress or the whatever?
Yes.
Like we waiting for the special occasion. Look, every day is the special occasion. Let's go.
That that is what COVID taught me, seriously, because I was that person, like, eating off the fine china or whatever, wearing a special dress. I would have dresses in my gowns and stuff, just waiting. Like, no, I am going to dress up for this verses. I'm going to dress up. For, I
Yes.
am going to dress up to go walk along the lakefront. I'm about to do whatever. I'm about to give it all. And there's no special occasion that's necessary. Like,
I
just give it
love
all.
it.
And
I
the
love
last
it.
thing I do is, if you know me and you do, I try my best to keep bright like myself in bright colors, bright textures, like,
Mhm.
because I do deal with depression, and seasonal depression is so great all the time in Chicago. I have to create this aura of like brightness around
Right,
me to
yeah.
keep my mind, like, to play tricks on my mind, to really elevate myself and keep myself in a bright space.
I love it, and that is so important. I haven't bought one yet, but I know people talk about the sunlights, but that's part
Yes.
of the reason, like, my desk is facing outside. So people
Yes.
always talk about, like, you have so much light," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm looking outside." Like, that's why, right?
I
But
stay near a window, but in Chicago, it's like it's not enough sun in the world, and it's not enough sun to really. You just always have to have something to supplement in this
right.
city. So I'm that's my next goal is to chase the sun. I will be
I I'm not mad at you.
where the
I'm
sun
look,
reside. That's what
where
I
the
will
sun
be. Where
resides,
the
I'm
sun
not mad.
reside.
All right, it is Women's History Month, and one of the things that you have been doing is highlighting some historical women, or historical, as you would like to say,
Historical, yes.
historical women that many of us don't know about. And there have definitely been some women that I have been like, oh, who is that? I've never,
Hmm.
read her story before. I don't know who
Hmm.
she is. So with that, who is a woman that you admire and why? And see, and I know you will pick 10, you can only pick one.
I
You
was
can
like, why is
only
she saying one?
you can
Oh,
only pick one.
okay. All Black women, when we're operating out of our highest self, all of us, I love us. We so fly, we so loving. But just one, if I had to pick one, it would be Reverend your soror, Reverend Dr. Jacqueline Trish Atkins
Go
of
ahead,
Gold Rush
Sora. Go
Women's
ahead.
Conference. Yes, she is the executive director and founder of Chauvel and More. She produces and has produced now for the last 14 years the Gold Rush Women's Conference. But she is Chicago herstory. She was the first Black woman to be the president of the I'm gonna get this stuff wrong, but the YWCA. She was high ranking, one of the first Black board members of YWCA. One of the first Black women for something else. She also, all of these museums in the school systems where
Mhm.
people could take the passes in, she created that. She was over the board of education. She is just a dope woman, underrated, unsung. She is living, breathing history, but she's also my spiritual mother. And when you talk about resiliency, L, for me, she is the pinnacle of that. She's a living example
Mm.
because she taught me that everything is only what is in your mind. It's
Hmm.
only what you believe in your head is what your reality is. And that if you look at your condition to be your reality, then that's how you will stay. But if you understand that your condition is ever changing and can change from moment to moment, right? You can be in poverty one moment and you
Yes.
can get your stimmy. You can wake up with a stimmy, right?
Right.
No, but seriously, like you can be in one condition in a moment's notice, just like that. Your
Yeah.
situation can change. But if you are waiting for your situation to change, you will always be in a fluctuated life. Like your life will be up, it will be down. But if you always hold on to truth that I am a child of God, I am made in his image and likeness, I am abundance, I am old and have the power of everything of God. It flows to me, through me. If you always believe that,
Mhm.
um, then no matter where you are or what you're facing, you can move forward. You can move in that walk, right? You can move in
Come
that
on
truth.
now.
So
Yes.
for me, she lives that, she breathes that. I've seen her up against some hard times, some waylays, um, and she's just dope. She's a dope wife. She just I admire her so very
She
much.
is full of wisdom and grace. I've only had one
Yeah.
interaction with her, but and I started following her on social media and
Hmm.
catch her on a live every now and again. And she embodies like grace.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes. She is.
that's a great person. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So last question, and this is
Hmm.
now you
I
breathe
don't think you gave
music.
me another question. Is this on my list? This is what pop quiz?
You must have forgot this one, but you breathe music.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I got this.
Your husband is a DJ. You
Yes.
love hip hop music,
Yes.
all the things. So, what is your woman empowerment song?
Whew, and you won't believe that it's not a hip hop song. If it were, it would be something by Queen Latifah or Lauryn Hill. But for me, every morning I have an anthem that I play every morning, and it is Vivian Green, "Light the Universe." That is
Ooh,
my song that I play every single morning. That is, I mean, there's a ton of them, but that one for the
I
last
love
2 years
it.
has been the morning anthem. That's my come out of meditation. That's my go into meditation. If I'm riding in my car and I'm on my way to a power meeting or something like that, I play that song when I'm feeling down. I play that song when I'm feeling myself. I play that song. Yeah, it's a dope song.
That's a good one. I love it. Well, it will be added to the resilience Spotify list that we are creating.
Ooh, yes,
Every song that every woman has given will be on a list. Share it out so that women can just rock it out and listen to
yes,
other songs that women vibe off of. So
yes.
I would like to thank you for joining me on this Women's History Month. Just this is my opportunity and my way, like I said, to show my Facebook friends who are some of the women in my life that, sometimes there have been women like the doctor who delivered Simone was on last week, which was
Ooh,
amazing. And I loved having her here. And, so it's women that I've had in my life for a long time, for a little time, but just women that I'm highlighting this month. So I
yeah.
appreciate you coming on.
Well, I'm honored to be counted in that number, and I just want to tell you how amazing you are and the force that you are in this world. Again, you know how I am. I don't believe that anything is coincidence or by accident. I think every interaction that we have with people is one that is meant to enlighten us and make us
Mhm.
better and grow. And I'll say that every time that we have had any kind of interaction, even if it's through Simone, I grow. I learn to, you are a person who helps me to stay out of the deficit mindset, right?
Mm.
Like, I'll be having those moments and you may not even know, right? But then you'll say something and it'll put me back on track, right? Because you have to catch yourself thinking the thoughts that you're
Yeah,
thinking, right? And
absolutely.
sometimes you don't even realize that that's your thinking, but we'll see each other in Sip and Save, and I ask you what's going on, and you'll be telling me, and then I'll be like, get your, like, you fix my crown, and not even try to, like, you're just talking, and it's like, okay, straighten up, because we all out here, and we all, like, that person is seeing you in a light. You gotta be that, right? You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta be that, because somebody else is still needing you to be, to show up. So yeah, I thank you, and I thank you for sharing your chocolate drop with me. And you should tell her that she should expect a nice surprise on the 25th of March. It will be delivered.
That's
Don't tell her.
exciting.
Actually, let her be
I'm
surprised.
gonna
But
let her be
yeah,
surprised.
I see people
So
saying hello.
I was about to say, so your Saluki sister, my soror, and
Oh
we the young
God,
dolphin
yes, my
sisters.
Saluki sis. I get to claim that first.
Well, no, actually,
Hey
I get to
Tiff.
claim her first because we went to high school together.
Oh yeah,
But
y'all dolphins. That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey Tiff, Doctor Tiff. Yeah.
so, well, thank you. It has been a pleasure talking to you today, and be sure to share this widely, you all. I will be back for another installment on this Women's History Month. La'Keisha, have a great day, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you. And I don't know if you've shared with people the other things you're working on, but I
Oh,
just find that you have found your digital superpower. And I am so excited to continue to watch you
oh,
shine and to share with the world your gift and your story. And I can't wait to see more of what's to come.
there are some good things coming. They are,
Yes,
and
it
Lakeisha's
has.
helping me with one of those things. So we will be sharing with the world sooner than
Yes.
later.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
take
All
care.
right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.